Welcome to the Divorce Awakening podcast,
where you wake the fuck up after divorce.
and you realise that your best life ever is ahead of you.
I'm Delia Monk,
And I'm Sam Brindle.
and we're two happily divorced coaches here to show you that life doesn't end after divorce.
Mate, it's just getting started.
This is your chance to find out who you really are and build a life that you can't even imagine.
We'll be talking about purpose, career change, dating, spiritual shit, and falling in love with yourself.
Let's get into it.
Let's go! Welcome back to the Divorce Awakening podcast. And today we're going to talk about how it feels when we have to say goodbye to our kids and they go to their other parent. Because it's a tough one. It takes getting used to. There's a lot of logistics involved. It's tricky. Delia and I have different setups. So I think we'll talk through a little bit of like how we make it work and also how we have worked through our emotions of having to say goodbye to your kids. Because even now, like for me, 5 years on, it's still a bit difficult sometimes.
The transition I find difficult. I feel like, and actually it really helps me relate to my daughter because we know that transitions are hard for kids. But when I feel the difficulty too, I think, gosh, I'm someone who's conscious of my thoughts and, very, very aware of how I'm feeling. And she's not, right? But I think for me, one of those the hardest moment is when you drop them off at school and then you come back into the house and there's like some of their stuff still scattered around, like crumbs on the table, maybe a drawing they're half finished. And you just get that like pang in your heart, don't you? Of like, they're not coming back to finish that for a week or however long it is, and the house feels empty.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
Completely. And the mess is multiplied by 4. So there's 4 empty bowls on the sides. There's 4 times the crumbs. I have to say for me personally, it's changed a little because my eldest 2. So we have a week. We have 50-50 custody, which is the same as you.
Yeah. 50-50, yeah.
And we have a week. We go a week.
Yeah.
But now that my eldest 2 are older and they're at high school, they're a lot more autonomous. And so I do see them.
You see them when it's not your week?
I see them when it's not my week.
They just pop in?
They just pop in to say hello.
How lovely.
Yeah. So I don't have that same, I'm not going to see them for a week that I did have in the beginning.
Yeah. You're probably wishing, there's
pros and cons.
Yeah. You hear the door going, you're like, straight at the back. So I wasn't going to have to see them for a week.
Pros and cons. But the beginning, I struggled.
So what did you do? Let's talk about that, working through that difficulty, the loneliness, the missing them, the guilt that you might be feeling of not being with them, the FOMO. Like, I remember at the beginning, so when we first separated, my ex met somebody new almost immediately, and they would send me photos of my daughter when I wasn't with her. And it was done from a place of, especially, I get on really well. I have a good relationship with my ex's partner. I think she's great. And I think it was definitely done from a place of like trust. Like, look, I'm here with your daughter, let's build this relationship. And they would send me photos. I found it so hard to receive them because the FOMO was so high.
Because you're not there.
Because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her in this other house doing these things, and it hurt so much that I had to ask them not to send me any more photos. Actually, now, 2 years on, I am so happy to see photos. I actually reached out and said, I know.
I'm ready.
I just literally reached out. I was like, I know I asked you not to send me any more photos, but things have shifted. And I feel really good now. And I'm always happy for you to share photos. And I appreciate it. Yeah, I know. Growth. Look at that growth. So I guess that's something to say, actually. It's a journey.
It is a journey.
And how you feel at the beginning isn't how you... I remember you saying this to me. It gets easier.
It does get easier.
It does.
Because I had insane guilt about everything.
Sam.
I mean, I was the one who initiated our divorce.
Yeah.
I was the one who moved out. And so when I'd get home, like you said, you'd do the like transition day. I'd take them to school in the morning. I'd come home in the evening and they weren't there. And I just felt so guilty. I felt guilty that I wasn't with them. I felt guilty that they'd be missing me. I felt guilty about just the whole situation, that then I would just punish myself by not doing anything. Because then I would feel guilty for enjoying myself when I was the one who had put them all in this situation in the first place. Like it was a self-flagellation situation.
Yeah. How did you break that? And I mean, I know we've talked about like if you're listening to this, you must go back and listen to the episode where we talk about drinking. I don't remember what episode number it is.
It was one of the first ones.
One of the first episodes where Sam talks about how in those early days you would like just have beers and stuff to like numb out those feelings, right? And we've all done it. So how did you break that cycle of guilt? And
I think once I saw that the kids were actually fine, it lessened because, you know, life continued.
Yeah.
And they were okay.
Yeah.
And I could
see. The show goes on.
The show goes on. You know, we all adapt. They adapted. I adapted. And time does make things feel less strong. I also then did look at why I was feeling so guilty and did a lot of work with the coach to understand why I was reacting the way I was reacting. And a lot of it was down to old patterns and beliefs. You know, it's always my fault. It's a big one. And it wasn't all my faults.
Mm.
And when I kind of came to terms with the fact that whilst I was the one who initiated it, you know, it's a marriage of two people.
Yes.
And just because I was the one who started it, doesn't mean that it wasn't the right thing for both of us.
Oh, I love that, Sam.
So that did lessen the guilt as well.
Yeah, because it's never all one person's fault.
No. And
you
also
can't
seeing
carry
that and I also felt guilty for him, that he was now alone.
Yeah.
But he was also okay.
Yeah.
So I don't feel guilty anymore. And I know the kids are fine. And I know that if they do miss me, they know where I am.
Yeah.
And they can call me. Yeah.
Do you enjoy your time alone now?
Yeah.
Own it. Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And it's something I remember reading. I can't remember where I read it. That it felt quite cliche at the time that, you know, our children do deserve the best of us. And so the week that I'm not with them is my chance to do the things that I want to be doing, fill my own cup.
Yes.
Get myself prepared so that when they do come, I'm prepared. Because it's a lot. It's also, I feel like it's very noticeable between 0 and 4. It's quite from silence to mayhem.
Do you know what's also probably worth touching on is the transition going from silence to mayhem? Because I, especially at the beginning, so I struggled with the transitions a lot and still do a little bit. But also I found that when I had my time off, and I do my system different to Sam. So I have my daughter every Monday, Tuesday. My ex has our daughter every Wednesday, Thursday, and then we do every other weekend, which means we'll often do 5 days with or without the child. But what I noticed was let's say I did 5 days without my daughter and I had beautiful morning routines. I'd be getting up and I'd be meditating and I'd do some creative writing and I then could go to the gym at any time. There would be no end point for work. I could work until I wanted to work. I could go out in the evenings. I could have friends over for dinner. I do a lot of extracurricular activities. I can fill that week so nicely, or even just not filling it with stuff and just being.
Yeah.
And just sitting on my balcony with a cup of tea and listening to the birds. But it can be quite blissful. And then I felt a lot of guilt over, as I'm getting ready for my stint with her, whether it be 2 days or 5 days, I couldn't wait to see her. I was so excited about seeing her. And then I'd get her and the whining would start and there'd be a tantrum. And you haven't done this. And why have you bought me this snack? And I felt guilty because I felt like I've been so zen for the last 5 days. I've been able to recharge. I should now be able to deal with this from the best place ever. Actually, sometimes I found it even harder because it was going from that 0 to 100. Whereas once I'd been with her for 3 or 4 days and I was used to the tantrums, I was used to the whining, I was back in it rolls off my shoulders and I can have my inner peace because, all this shit can get thrown at me and I can be I know, darling, I know you really want that. Oh, and you want the blue cup? No biggie. I'll just change the pink cup for the blue cup. And I can do it because I'm just like, I'm not letting it really infiltrate me. But that I found it harder going from 0 to 100.
Interesting.
And my patience was so bad on day one. Even though
do you
I
want me
loved
to come and do you want me to come over on like the day before and like just be really annoying to you? Do you want some
Dude.
warm up? I'll be like, Delia, this water's not fizzy enough.
When we cook for me, yeah, I found that harder.
Oh, interesting.
And when I'm doing at the moment, I'm doing 3 weeks on my own, but about halfway through it, I'm totally cool with all this stuff because I'm like, it's just part of it and that's fine. It doesn't, I'm totally cool for the most part. But I sometimes actually, that transition from being peaceful to putting yourself last and dealing with some of the challenges that come with parenting, hard on the first 24 hours.
Do you still manage to maintain any of your routine
No.
when you have her?
Very little. I find that very hard.
Maybe can you?
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's probably actually part of it, isn't it?
Because changing completely and drastically, quite hard. Like we're not really we're not really animals of change. Like we do like routines.
I think this is why transition's so hard. And if you think for our kids as well, their routines change completely because they're with a whole other person or family. Yes, I think maybe, I have now got to a point where I have a good routine when I have my daughter, but it cannot look like what it looks like when I don't have her because she'll often wake up early in the morning and come into my bedroom and wake me up. And that's early. That's at like 7 a.m. So if I wanted time before that, I'd have to be getting up at 6 a.m. And I've tried that, but I end up being really tired because, like you've got stuff to do in the evening once they go to bed and blah, 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 blah. But I take her to school now and then I go to the gym and then I do work afterwards. So I can't complain. But I guess I'm just saying that also on the other side, that transition is hard when you're adjusting to being a parent again, right? That can be hard. Like you've lost your independence and freedom and you're full on parenting again.
I also found I was a little bit the opposite for quite a long time, that in the time that I was by myself, I just had no interest in doing anything.
Wow.
I went the other way.
Yeah.
And I would wake up and be my normal energetic self when they came back. But that has changed now. And now I'm like, I want to make the most of the time that I do have by myself.
Yeah.
Because why not? If you can't always be living, I think it just took me a long time to adjust.
Yeah, it does. And I think if you're listening to this and you're resonating with any of this, just know that, again, it's time. It takes time. And be curious about your routines and what is working for you when you do have your kids and what isn't working for when you have your kids. I think you just made a really good point to me. Like, do I need to be shifting my routine when I have her? And I think that's something for me to mull over because it is a constant experiment.
Yeah. Because the other thing I run in theory most mornings, and I was running a lot more when I didn't have the kids because they would be waking up when they're with me, they would be waking up when I'm still running. And so I wasn't going because I kind of wanted to be there for them. But then I thought, I think it's okay that I'm not there. And I think it's okay that they can manage for 5 minutes that I haven't come back from my run.
And your kids are older.
And so I had a conversation with them. It's like, I do want to go for a run, but I'm not going to be home to wake you up in time. And they were okay with it. So I think that I think especially mums, there is kind of an assumption that we need to be always there.
Yes.
But I think it's okay if we do put ourselves first, even when the kids are with us.
Such a good point.
I'm not very good at doing it.
Oh my God, Sam, this is such a good point.
I'm saying this now, but it's definitely something I'm working on.
Because I think when we are 50-50 parents, we feel a pressure to then be 100% on it when we're with them because we only have 50% of time with them.
Actually, this is a really good point.
This is I'm just thinking about this now.
So I never make plans when it's almost like my life is kind of on hold.
Yes,
for the
week. Kids.
Social life.
Yeah.
Because I am there 100, because it is just me.
Yeah.
But like weekends, it's all kid focused.
Yeah, same. And interestingly, today I've got a friend coming over tonight. And I said to my daughter, oh, I've got a friend coming over. And she said to me, apparently she's only 6, she said to me, Mummy, you don't need to have friends over when you see me because you can have friends over when I'm with Daddy. And I thought, technically that's right. And technically that's what I've been doing. But actually, No, it shouldn't be like
Yeah.
that. And I remember talking to a child psychologist soon after the divorce, and she said to me, be careful you don't do that, that you make your kid your total priority when they're with you, because they will always expect it. And it will be so much harder if you ever meet a partner, if you ever want to open up your life more, they will be like almost possessive of you and think that you are their, like they are your life. And so
God.
yeah,
That's where I am.
we're like setting ourselves up for like slavery. Probably shouldn't say that. But so I said to my daughter that when she said that to me, I said, actually, darling, that's not true, because you're the most important person to me in my life. My friends are very, very important to me. Some of my friends are like family. I want you to have a relationship with my friends, and I want my friends to have a relationship with you. Because when we are on our own, solo parenting, it is like that, right? Like, I love the idea of like, it takes a village.
Yeah.
And, like we have keys to each other's houses. And if you needed me to pick your kids up, I can get them. And we'll sleepovers, whatever. And like, actually, no, like we should be bringing our friends into our kids' lives and doing some stuff for us when we have
My
them.
God, this is, yeah. And I want to do this more often, because I do really feel like I need to just be there for them.
I don't think it's good for
and I
them.
don't think it is good.
I don't think it's healthy. We're having this aha moment live.
This is life coaching.
Because they need to see that we have a life and that they are not our entire life. Because if you think about when you're married, or maybe not married, but in a relationship where you've got the mother and the father living together, mum will be going out sometimes. Hopefully more than sometimes. Dad will be going out. Like friends will be coming over. They will see that full picture. They will experience that. And so it's probably not healthy that they suddenly think they have us all to ourselves when...
What I found, and I don't know if you found this, sorry, this is going slightly on a tangent, but when we were together, we had a lot of couple friends, and we would do a lot of things as a couple. We were always entertaining. We always had people around our house. And as soon as we separated, that literally dried up. We were never invited.
Yeah.
And me as a single person by myself, I didn't invite people. Like it felt weird to invite the same couple.
Yeah.
When it was just me. So I'm like, who's the husband going to talk to? And so it just sort of dried up, and I stopped doing it.
That makes sense. And I do a lot of socializing with my daughter, but it's all with her friends' mums. And I'm really lucky that her friends' mums are awesome human beings. Like, I consider them now dear friends of mine. Let's start naming them, but you know who some of them are. And so I do need to be honest and say, like, I don't starve myself of that. She sees me with friends, but it's her friends and her friends' mums, right? Because that works and the dynamic works and it's easy. But I do think it's important sometimes that she's with other adults that haven't got kids, and not all the time, right? Because they want to have fun, but sometimes they have to look at other adults in the eye and answer questions. Terribly uncomfortable.
My kids hate it. Yeah, I'm taking my kids on holiday we're going to France at the end of the month with my school friends, and they have kids. And I could tell there was a bit of hesitancy, not because they didn't want to go, but it was like, but they're your friends.
Yeah.
I was like, exactly. They are my friends. And I want you to have a relationship with my friends.
Yeah.
And they're looking forward to going.
Good.
But it was, it's like, but this isn't all about us, kind of.
Right? I mean, kids do think the world revolves around them. Like, that's just the nature of being a kid, right? But I think this is definitely worth considering.
So going back to
going back to the topic. I was just thinking the same.
So for people who are probably at the beginning of this journey, what I would say is there are also, as we keep saying, like, there are no real rules about how to make this work. We started the same way that Delia has now, like the 2 days. But mine told me it made them feel a bit like, I don't really know what the translation is from Catalan, but like seasick. They said they were marejada because they didn't really know if they were coming or going. Like the 2 days felt too short for them.
Yeah.
And we fell into a week. Then they kind of knew where they were.
Yeah.
So like you can experiment as well.
Yeah.
You can see what works for you. And the thing that I would say as well is like, be kind to yourself.
Mm.
Like this is all unknown. We've never done this before.
Yeah.
I've never co-parented before. You've never co-parented
God,
before.
no.
We are literally making it up as we go along.
Yeah.
And so if it feels really difficult, like take time to appreciate that it does feel difficult.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And it's okay.
You can come home and have a little cry.
Yeah.
And not just shove those emotions away. Like, I remember one day I came home and I felt so sad that she wasn't with me. I just sat down and wrote and journaled about how sad it was. And I was literally writing and crying, and like, it was so cathartic. And then I put some music on and had a dance and shifted my energy.
God, you're so much more developed than me. I would just go and buy beer and watch Netflix and completely ignore everything that I was feeling. I don't do that now. But
I mean, to be
good for you, Delia.
yeah,
Good for you.
to be fair, I had plenty of nights on the wine. I mean, I don't want to pretend that I didn't. This was a bit more like, she knew. I did do that a couple of months after the divorce. It was when I was living in my first runaway home. Before we wrap it up, let's just talk a bit about how to make the most of your time on your own. Because I think you made a really good point earlier of like, and there's a phrase I love as well, which is that the phrase I love is like, the time is going to pass anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well spend it how you want to spend it.
Yeah.
And you said that too. You had a moment where you realized there was no point in you sitting and feeling guilty. And we've said this before, that doesn't fix anything. So you shifted and you were like, I think I'm going to enjoy this time. And I think I've actually shamelessly been pretty good at enjoying my time off from being a mum.
Yeah.
And I do see it as time off from being a mum. Like, I still think about her lots and I wonder what she's doing, and, you're never off. But I made a list of all the things I wanted to do. And that list was so long that I was like, better get started. So at the moment, I'm doing weekly improvisation classes in Barcelona, which I love. Before that, I was doing horse riding.
Such an inspiration.
Like, there's so many things that we can be doing.
Yeah.
And that are going to make you feel better. They're going to give you the energy that's going to help you be a better mum on the back.
Completely.
Like, it literally will be the rocket fuel you need to be a better mum.
Because I don't know, don't want to stereotype across every mum, but we are the gender that's more likely to put ourselves last in a marriage or in a family unit. And so it might feel, it did for me, it might feel weird to then be doing things for yourself. I found it odd. Like, I can actually just do that.
Yeah, felt like you needed permission to do it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like it didn't come naturally.
Right.
So it's a perfect opportunity. This is why we call it like the divorce awakening. It's a perfect opportunity to like start looking at what you like doing, experimenting with hobbies. And if you want to date, or if you want to just see your friends more, like paint, or literally you can just
anything. All those I don't know if it's stuff you used to love doing when you were a child.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I've been tapping into. When I was a child, I used to horse ride. I used to love acting, and I've got back into that. Because so often when we were children, I always think our souls and spirits knew what we needed. And then as we've got older and we've got addicted to tech, or we've got full-time jobs and we become parents, all of that stuff for fun gets put on a shelf over here, right? And so I think tapping back into that, what did little Sam like doing? What did little Delia like doing? And doing that.
Yeah.
And playing.
Yeah.
Having, when I go to improv on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, literally it might as well just say play in my diary. Because that's what it feels like. We just get into that room and we just play. And it's like, oh my God, it's like when our kids are away, we get to be the kids, right?
Mic drop.
Boom.
Yeah.
Be the kid.
Be the kid.
Fucking hell, you
But be the kid with no rules. And
yes,
I know what to tell you what to do.
Okay, you maybe still have to go to work. And on that theme, we've talked about how you have to reparent yourself sometimes.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
And again, something that I took a long time to get into the habit of doing is literally looking after myself.
Yeah.
Because I'd also never lived by myself before, ever.
Me neither.
So there was no one watching. And I felt it's so easy to slip into bad habits.
Yeah.
Because it's well, no one else is here. No one's going to know if I'm eating crisps for dinner. And
And isn't there that phrase, you are who you are and no one's watching?
Yeah, and I realised I was a bit of a pig. I think I was rebelling against every rule that had been forced upon me but like, yeah, I think I kind of rebelled in a really sad way. just doing
So the opposite of a like typical rebellion.
yeah,
Right?
it's just like, I'm just going to do nothing.
Screw you, society.
I'm just going to sit here on my sofa
and drink bottles of beer.
But now the pleasure of genuinely wanting to look after myself
Yeah.
and like feed myself with good food and go for a run, like spend time with the people that I want to spend time with. It feels good. It feels great.
It feels so good when you look after yourself, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think that, and then you get like the whole self-worth thing kick in.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is probably a whole other episode, but when you look after your self-worth, your self-worth increases. It comes in that order.
Yeah.
Because when you look after yourself well, you start going to bed early-ish. You don't let yourself just binge Netflix till 2 a.m. You don't get through a 6-pack on your own, and you don't eat all the Doritos. You wake up in the morning and you love yourself more.
Yeah.
And it's like a circle of self-worth. Like when you parent yourself well, it's like when we're parenting our children, we're doing it because we love them, right? We don't want them to wake up and have a hard day and be tired or be ill because they haven't been getting good nutrition.
Yeah.
Right? We do it with love. And so when we do it for ourselves, it's like self-love.
Yeah, completely. And not doing it is the opposite.
It's the opposite.
And it just makes you feel worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. So I feel like the takeaway I'm getting from another live session with me and you, where we have our own aha moments, so we take whoever's listening along with the journey with us, is that like when you have your kids, be the kid, play, have fun, and parent yourself with love.
Oh my God.
Is that it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Is that
That's
it?
it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all, guys.
It's so simple. Be kind to yourself.
It's all about love.
It's all about love. All about love. Oh, we'll wrap it up there.
See you next time.
Bye.